Part 13. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 121. Whether it was an enemy or a friend, Chengling didn't know. The fact that the other party can obtain such detailed information only shows that this person is definitely not an ordinary person. Chengling didn't want to waste energy on guessing, nor was he willing to be led around by the other party with just a text message. She would seize the initiative. If you want to have the initiative, you must first figure out what the other party wants to do with the Cheng family. According to the current food safety law, when consumers encounter food that does not meet food safety standards, the operator or producer can demand compensation for losses and pay 10 or 3 times the price. For these 23 cases of compensation for substandard food, based on the maximum compensation amount, the cumulative amount does not exceed 50,000 yuan. This is obviously not their primary purpose. The show Desperate Survival became popular, which led to the popularity of the Cheng Dehang brand. The other party used dirty tricks to reduce the sales of Cheng Dehang's food? No, it won't be so childish. Chengling opened the official website of Cheng Dehang brand, a subsidiary of Cheng Group. Home Company News Corporate News. Find it item by item in Corporate News. Until she turned to a piece of news from a year ago. Our company has reached friendly cooperation with Japan and will regularly provide Japan with processed meat foods, such as ham sausage, luncheon meat, and other processed meats. Is it provided regularly? Chengling thought. What if it cannot be provided regularly? For example, food safety issues arise, capital chains are broken, and investors withdraw funds. Chengling exited the current page and hacked into the Office OA system of Cheng Dehang Food. This subsidiary has been very busy recently because Japan is hosting large-scale international sports games and a large number of athletes, coaches, staff, news media reporters and foreign tourists have poured into Japan, so the number of orders from Japan has surged. The order volume this month is more than the entire last year. At this juncture, something happened. Then Cheng Dehang Food Company was in trouble. This kind of thing can't be solved by just paying some money. Chengling raised her lips and smiled. What they want to play is this trick of drawing money from the bottom of the cauldron. What an insidious move. It's a pity that you met me. Insidious. To deceive. I, Chengling, will overturn the chessboard when I meet someone who refuses to play chess honestly. Asterisk. John Killen put away his phone. The younger brother was sitting on the hospital bed, supporting the small table and eating egg tarts happily. John Killen reached out and picked up the cut edge of the egg tart, put it in his mouth, and chewed it slowly. Brother, why are you eating egg tarts? Our family is not short of money. Why are you still so naughty? John Kyun wiped his mouth. I just like to eat on the side. Okay, finish your meal quickly, go brush your teeth and go to bed. I'm still busy. After John Killen finished eating the last piece of bread, he stood up and said to his brother. Also, I will go through the transfer procedures for you tomorrow morning, and you can go back to Maple City. But those criminals. The criminal belongs to Senchinj, and we only have the right to interrogate. John Killen took out a tissue and wiped his fingers slowly and methodically. Besides, we have to play a long game to catch the big fish. Stop telling me this, I don't understand it either, brother, I'm full too, please give me your phone back. John Kyun lives in Senchinj, and he was the first to get his phone back. After getting the phone, he just had time to send a friend request to Chengling when his brother took it away and asked him to cooperate with the inspection, re-clean and bandage the wound, and then eat something to replenish his strength. You can't return the phone to him until you finish eating. John Kyun was extremely anxious. He couldn't wait to read the latest chapter of Yinga's novel. In the last chapter, Shadow Song deliberately left a hook to whet people's appetite. John Killen handed the phone to Mike, who was standing aside, Jong Ki-eun's manager. Jong Ki-eun has a high position. After Mike sent him to the show team, he did not leave, but stayed in Senchinj on standby. After receiving the notice that Jong Ki-eun was admitted to the hospital, he rushed to the ward as soon as possible. Mike, give him some time and don't play with your phone for more than an hour. This injury is not big, not small. If you don't take good care of it, it may leave scars in the future, and you won't be able to take pictures of your underwear. Gigi Jong Ki-eun said, what should we use to mend the broken hearts of hundreds of millions of girls? After speaking, Jong Ki-eun ignored his protesting brother, walked to the two guards standing in the room and said, thank you for taking good care of him tonight. The guard saluted, it's your duty. Jong Ki-eun strode out. There are too many things waiting for him to investigate and deal with. Tonight, I'm afraid it will be a sleepless night. Jong Ki-eun thought so too. Tonight, I'm afraid it will be a sleepless night. 3 days. Shadow Song updated 5 chapters in 1 day, and as of today, there are 15 chapters. What if Yinga's conscience finds out and an update of 180 chapters? I don't even dare to think of such a good thing, but what if? That's a lot of chapters. 1 hour is definitely not enough. Jong Ki-eun sat down on Mike's adjusted hospital bed, adjusted the angle of the back cushion, and opened the first book on the Cherry Tomato app bookshelf with great joy. The Ruthless Reminder of Cherry Tomatoes. You have read the latest chapter /. The author is working hard to update /. Book friends who have read this book are still reading XXXXXX. Jong Ki-eun. He closed the program unwillingly, entered it again, and refreshed the interface. You have read the latest chapter. Jong Ki-eun closed his eyes. Damn it. The dog is more untrustworthy than the author. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 122. The shit yellow urge for updates button under the last chapter showed that it had been urged more than 5,000 times. Jong Ki-eun poked the urge for updates button hard. A little girl held a hammer and hammered the 2 words hard. It was exactly like Jong Ki-eun's mood at the moment. The latest chapter reviews all scolded the author for being a jerk. I actually believe this author who doesn't keep his word. If I read his books again in the future, I will be a dog. It was agreed to be updated regularly, but it disappeared again after just a few days. Bye. Gone again, gone again. Yinga, be a human being. Jong Ki-eun's angry little finger tapped in the message box to express his anger, and suddenly a prompt appeared on the top of the phone. The author you follow Yinga updated a chapter. He hurriedly exited and went to catch up. After reading a chapter, Jong Ki-eun found that Yinga left the author's words. Sorry, I haven't updated in the past few days. I went out, but I chose to update on time. I didn't expect that the first chapter would be stuck for review, I didn't send it out later. Sorry. A bunch of people immediately replied below. Including a dog. Woof woof, I said I would be a dog if I read your book again, but I read other books and it was really boring. Author, I just want to ask you one question, did you write today? Yinga was actually online and replied with an emoticon, I didn't write, I am guilty. JPG. Are you happy to be naughty? Come on, tell me, why didn't you post in the past few days? Even if you say you clicked on the automatic update, you can't even check your phone, right? If you check it, you should have found that your article was stuck for review, right? Yinga replied, you may not believe it, but I haven't touched my phone in the past few days. I was abducted by aliens. Damn it, dogs are worse than authors. In order to delay the manuscript, you dare to make up any reason. You might as well say you are a superhero and go to catch the bad guys next time. Yinga replied, oh. I haven't updated these days because I'm a superhero and I've been busy catching bad guys. Facing a repeater like you who has no bottom line, I'm at a loss for words. Fist.jpg. I think the previous author wrote very realistically, and I hope the author can continue to maintain it. At the same time, I have a little doubt about the author's identity. Yinger replied, doubting everything will only hurt you. Please, author, stop being so nagging, can you hurry up, go, code. I hope you can stay up late to code tonight, cute.jpg. Yinger replied, there are still 4 chapters, and the background is reviewing. I don't know if it will be stuck in the review. I'm going to sleep. Erkanghan.jpg. You are so careless, you will lose us, you come here to get fat. Cherry Tomato app prompts, the author you follow has updated 4 chapters. Chen Ling closed the web page and clicked on the Swiss bank page where she deposited money. An email came from the backend, the application you submitted is being processed. It is expected to take 10-20 hours. She then turned off the computer, took off her clothes and lay down on her big bed. The bed was so comfortable, so fragrant, so soft, it smelled like it had been exposed to the sun. It was reassuring. This time, Chen Ling did not use her sleep cues and instantly fell into a sweet dream. Asterisk. In the East 5th District, which was 3 hours later than China, the sound of artillery fire that had been ringing for a day finally gradually subsided. War also requires rest. A tall middle-aged woman with very short black hair walked out of the temporary medical station on the battlefield. She was very beautiful, with a pair of eyes like black agate, deep and gentle, and a healthy skin color like wheat. There were a few black stains and blood from the wounded on her face, which did not affect her beauty. Instead, her oriental classical face was covered with a veil of determination. The assistant hurried over. The woman took off her blood-stained white coat and put it in the assistant's hand. She took off her surgical gloves and mask, stuffed them into the trash can, and turned her head to ask, "Is he still online?" "Yes, I have been waiting for 2 hours. He said he is not in a hurry and does not want to notify you." "Okay, you go back to take care of the wounded. Call me at any time if there is any situation." After that, the woman walked quickly towards the street that was dilapidated like a ruin by the bombardment. Not long after, she walked to the outside of a low earthen house, bent down, and walked in. Under the dim light, an old man with a haggard face sat on a low stool, smiled at her ingratiatingly, and pointed at the phone. The telephone receiver was placed on the dirty table. The woman took out a few coins and handed them over, saying in the local language, "Thank you." The old man took the coins, bowed, left the hut, and closed the door. The woman breathed a sigh of relief and picked up the phone. "Lao Zhang, I'm sorry, I've been waiting for a long time. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 123. Zhang Zhenkuo said softly, "Not long, I was waiting for you while reading a book, no time wasted. You have been there for 5 days, how is the situation?" The woman exhaled, "The situation is a little more serious than before I came, but I am still safe here, don't worry." "How are the 2 children?" This woman is Zhang Qiun and Zhang Qilan's biological mother, battlefield doctor and reporter, Ji Chenjiao. Father Zhang smiled, "They are both very good. Let me tell you something funny." Xiaoun insisted on participating in a survival variety show to show off his skills. "I didn't expect that this guy was taken care of by a girl in the show. He is such a big star, but he bowed and scraped to others in the show. It's so funny. Do you want me to send you a photo?" "No. Let's not send it, old Zhang. Xiaoun is so famous. If someone with ulterior motive sees it and finds out that I am his mother, I'm afraid it will not be good for him, you, and the Zhang family. Father Zhang sighed softly. When Xiaoun was young, I kept it a secret from him because I was afraid that he was young and ignorant and would accidentally reveal your identity. He is no longer a child now. Besides, Xiaolan knows everything, so why should I keep it secret from Xiaoun alone? No, Ji Chenjiao raised his voice, I was not careful enough to be discovered by Xiaolan. Xiaoun is different from Xiaolan. Xiaolan is meticulous and steady, while Xiaoun is simple and has no scheming, and his identity is special. Father Zhang didn't speak. The wife continued, what can he do if he knows? A few years ago, Xiaolan knew my identity and how dangerous my current job is, and he was worried every day. He is so old, and he has been cutting back on food and clothing all day long just to save money to collect supplies for me, even though he clearly knows that my place is a bottomless pit. So, Lao Zhang, please don't tell Xiaoun about my existence. This is out of selfishness as a mother. He has already lacked maternal love, at least it can make him live a little easier, right? Aware of her husband's silence, Ji Chenjiao blamed herself a little. Lao Zhang, as a mother, as a wife, I am very derelict. Chenjiao, don't say that. I was willful and tied you up with marriage. I can delay you for a few years, and I will also. I am satisfied. Besides, I have 2 children around me. I can call you from time to time. I am very happy to know that you occasionally think about me and the children. Your ambition is not in the small family. I know this. Ji Chenjiao said with some distress, Xiao Yan's child, please help me persuade him. I do my own things by myself and don't need his help. I can't say anything about this. You know Xiao Yan's character. It's useless for others to say anything about what he has determined. Besides, it doesn't waste him, and he doesn't have much to spend. He does this, and as a son, I can feel more at ease. But, he can't always be like this, right? He is an adult and has his own ideas and opinions, Jiang's father said in a relaxed tone. He is supporting you in his own way. Although he always complains that you are working hard and it's thankless, he has to worry just as much. You see, he bullies Xiaoun every day, but this time Xiaoun heard that she was in trouble and injured. Didn't Xiaolan take the initiative to help? Realizing that her husband changed the subject, Ji Chenjiao followed suit. She chuckled and teased, take the initiative? Why don't I think so? I'm afraid you have thought of some way to lure and force Xiaolan to go. Ha ha ha, you're praising me so much that I'm embarrassed, Jiang's father said happily. He didn't think there was anything wrong with him as a father, threatening and luring his son. He was not ashamed, but proud. As a husband, I just used a little trick, a little trick. Both of them are stubborn, neither of them is willing to give in, so I gave them a chance to reconcile. Sure enough, the 2 brothers fell in love after meeting each other. I heard that Xiaolan even made snacks for Xiaoun. Is Xiaoun seriously injured? Ji Chenjiao asked worriedly. Why was he injured? Not seriously, not seriously. How could he get seriously injured in the show? It's nothing serious, don't worry, but he was injured while trying to save a staff member on the scene. Jiang's father changed the subject, but he has a strong interest in another girl in the program group. Why? Did he fall in love with her? I can't say for sure. You know Xiaoun's personality. He has always admired strong people since he was a child. That girl is rare and strong. Ji Chenjiao paused suddenly. Admire strong people. What is there to admire about a female star? Is it because of her excellent acting skills? Or her singing voice? No, no, that girl's acting is quite bad, and her singing is totally out of tune. Once she opens her mouth, she can sing to a deadly effect. Jiang's father was realistic. Ah, Ji Chenjiao was a little confused. What else can be strong? She is very good at martial arts, has a large amount of knowledge, and is very smart and flexible. She is not even inferior to Xiaolan. Really, Ji Chenjiao thought her husband was exaggerating. After all, John Killen has been a famous child prodigy since he was a child. If it weren't for family reasons, he might have become a top scientist in a certain field now. I'm just stating the facts, Jiang's father said. Xiaolan also thinks she is a talent that cannot be missed. I guess he is trying to find a way to dig her over now. I think this way, Chengling is quite like you when you were young, but she is more sharp. Wait, Ji Chenjiao's tone changed immediately. What do you think her name is? Chengling. What's wrong? Ji Chenjiao was stunned. Impossible. I saw her buried with my own eyes. Old Zhang, I have something else to confirm. I'll hang up first. Father Zhang said to the phone. Hey, wait a minute. A busy tone came from the phone. Father Zhang frowned and slowly hung up the phone. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with the name Chengling? The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 124. Morning. I'm going to school. Sister, wait for me to come back tonight. Cheng Xiaomei waved her hands and got into the car. We're leaving too. Cheng Beizheng and Cheng's father were also about to leave. Cheng Ling quickly swallowed the lemon beef slices in his mouth. Wait, Dad, brother, I want to go to the company today to have a look, is that okay? Why do you want to go to the company all of a sudden? Do you want to come to work? Father Cheng was surprised. No, it's not that. You're overthinking it. Cheng Ling categorically denied. I just want to get to know the company and see how I earn the money I've spent over the years. Father Cheng was disappointed. Okay, when you want to go, ask Uncle Li to send a car to take you there. Cheng Beizheng smiled as he walked. Dad, what are you thinking? Do you expect her to help the company? Don't be ridiculous. She probably wants to come to the company to tease employees. Just last time I told her that our Ministry of Commerce has these guys are so handsome. The chatter gradually faded away. Cheng Ling smiled. She is not here to tease the employees, but really wants to help the company. Asterisk. It is not advisable to exercise just after a full meal. Cheng Ling first coded and published the text. After the 5 chapters were updated and the food was almost digested, she put on her sportswear, tied her hair, did a set of warm UPS, and started running in the villa courtyard. In fact, my home gym has a treadmill. But she doesn't like it. She preferred the feeling of her feet on hard ground. If she chooses to run on a treadmill, the exercise effect can be achieved, but her actual combat ability will be reduced. She needs to improve her running skills. In order to chase people or escape for her life, the treadmill obviously won't work. Cheng's house is very big, and the housekeeper repaved the rubber track in the yard while Cheng Ling was attending a show for a few days, making it very comfortable for running. The housekeeper looked at Cheng Ling's running figure and smiled. Sure enough, if I don't see the eldest lady running every day, I feel like something is missing. The boy who was responsible for delivering fruits and vegetables to the Cheng family didn't quite understand when he saw Cheng Ling running. I really don't understand how these rich people, with all their strength, can't just farm 2 acres of land. Many people don't understand. Cheng Ling really likes running. Running can not only improve the functional level of all aspects of the body, but also calm down and think about problems. How should the 3 people in the villa investigate the drowning matter? Who is secretly manipulating all this? Could the matter that needs to be silenced be related to drugs? If it's drugs, does it have something to do with the Yebor Forest gang of drug dealers? How can I retrieve the information of my missing former teammates without arousing anyone's suspicion? Isn't my foster father very proud that he, finally sat in the position he dreamed of? When he thought of himself, did he mock her and call her stupid? Damn it, find a way to give her a spanking. Damn it, he has always been heavily guarded, and with his current body, even if he wanted to do something, he couldn't do it. Chen Ling gritted his teeth. Silently added a set of strength exercises to myself today. She no longer thinks about her adoptive father. Doing strenuous exercise when you are emotional can easily induce acute myocardial infarction and produce a series of negative adverse effects. Think of something fun and happy. Also, should I make a TV series or a movie next? Variety shows are also quite interesting. Well, let's forget about the movie. If I do a good job and win an Oscar, my adoptive father and his gang may notice. At present, I am making a small fuss in China, and no news will come to me. Go across the ocean. There are so many celebrities on the red carpet in China every year, but no foreign media is willing to report on them. I finally managed to report it once, but the name and person didn't match up. No matter what she does in the country, as long as she goes to the United Nations, she will be safe. Just as he was thinking about it, Chen Ling ran to the door of the villa again and suddenly heard a very familiar shout. Big sister. Huh? Did I seem to hear the voice of that unlucky boy Bai Muchuan? Chen Ling followed the sound and went out. Bai Muchuan stood outside the iron gate of the villa, with a face like a blooming sunflower, smiling broadly at himself while waving his arms desperately. Clear and silly. Chen Ling ran towards the door. There was a man he had never seen before standing next to Bai Muchuan. When the guard standing guard at the door saw the eldest lady coming, he quickly stepped forward and asked, "Miss, do you want to let them in?" "Well, come in." Chen Ling glanced at the person next to Bai Muchuan. The man looked about 30 years old, and he looked like an agent in his dress and gestures. Bai Muchuan was carrying several boxes of high-end fruits in his hands. As soon as he entered the door, he started shouting exaggeratedly. "Wow! Sister, is your family so rich? Your house must be 1,000 square meters. It must have cost a lot of money, right? You are much richer than my sister, and my sister only made money last year." Chen Ling interrupted Bai Muchuan, "Why are you here? Does this big mouth know not to reveal his sister's annual income casually? Every day I feel sorry for Bai Muchuan's sister and manager. Sister, I miss you, why don't you come and see you?" Bai Muchuan said cutely. "Why would I put this piece of shit in there to disturb my running? What's wrong, don't you miss me? We have been separated for more than 10 hours. Warning, Chen Ling's gaze into the abyss. Bai Muchuan couldn't continue, and felt that if he continued, he might die miserably. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 125. As soon as Bai Muchuan shut up, the man next to him got the chance to speak. "Big sister, ahem, Miss Chang, hello. My name is Mike, and I am John Keun's assistant and agent. First of all, thank you for taking care of John Keun in the show Survival in the Desperate Situation. I came here this time because you talk too much nonsense." "Let me talk," Bai Muchuan interrupted Mike. "I talk a lot of nonsense. Since you entered the door, which sentence is not nonsense? You still have the nerve to say that I talk a lot of nonsense. No wonder the industry says that Bai Muchuan is a brainless naive." Mike stares into the abyss *2. "Maybe our survival in the wild these days disrupted my biological clock. I woke up early in the morning. My sister was shocked, hee hee. Mike, just tell me if you are talking nonsense. Then I thought about going to see how Zhang Yingdi is doing. After all, we are brothers who have experienced a lot of things together. But I didn't know which hospital he was in, so I went to his studio. Coincidentally, I just met this Mike, Seong Deer. Mike, please ask Bai Muchuan's agent to spend some money to let him study. Otherwise, his star career will be bleak." Mike accompanied Jang Kyun in the hospital for a whole night to contact major entertainment companies, producers, and directors, and helped Cheng Ling find some opportunities to appear on camera. Early in the morning, Jang Kyun was transferred back to Feng Cheng and sent Mike to deliver information to Cheng Ling. Afraid of being intercepted in the middle, many entertainment companies will secretly operate some resources. He also specifically asked Mike to deliver it to Cheng Ling in person. Mike just went back to the studio to get something and ran into this heartless Bai Muchuan. Bai Muchuan was carrying a few boxes of fruit. After hearing about Mike's identity, he asked Mike to take him to visit Jang Kyun. Mike refused in vain, so he had to say that he had something important to do. He was busy looking for Cheng Ling's agent and asked to meet Cheng Ling to discuss things in person. Bai Muchuan's eyes lit up when he heard it. I have the address of the big sister. I'll go with you. His sister Bai Qingcan had just asked the big sister's agent Wang Zhen for the address last night, saying that she would visit in person to thank him. Mike appeared at the door of Cheng's house with Bai Muchuan when he heard it. After explaining the whole story, Bai Muchuan said apologetically, "Big sister, I'm sorry, the fruits here are prepared for brother Zhang. It's a bit rude to come empty-handed this time." Mike tried hard to resist the desire to complain. But he couldn't help it. "Can't you treat these fruits as gifts for visiting, and buy another one when you visit my brother Zhang later?" Bai Muchuan was quite shocked. "Brother Mike, you are so smart." Mike's forehead was throbbing with veins. "You are too stupid, okay. Also, my name is Mike, not Mike." Seeing the two chatting happily, Cheng Ling waved to the housekeeper waiting on the side. The housekeeper walked over quickly. "Miss, what do you want?" She was still 2 laps away from completing her morning running plan. "Uncle Lee, these two are my guests, and this one is my colleague in the company, also a star." The housekeeper stared at Bai Muchuan unhappily. "This guy, I have heard of his name for a long time." The new star, Bai Muchuan. There was a hint of gnashing teeth. This guy dared to reject the pursuit of the young lady? He rejected the young lady, and dared to come to her door today with a thick face? Bai Muchuan immediately stopped bickering with Mike, showing his charming 8 white teeth. "Ah, it seems that I am really famous. Uncle, if you want my autograph, you have to provide me with paper and pen." "Housekeeper, I want you to be a big head ghost." Cheng Ling suddenly realized, "Oh, by the way, she and Bai Muchuan still have this bad debt. Hey, Uncle Lee, it's good that you know him. This is Jang Kyun's agent and assistant Mike. I have 2 laps to run. After running, I will take a shower and come to meet the guests. Please cut some fruits and make some drinks for me." Housekeeper bowed. "Okay, miss." Cheng Ling waved her hand and continued to run. Housekeeper took the two to the reception room. "Excuse me, have you had breakfast? If not, I can ask the kitchen to make something for you." Mike was starving. He accompanied Jang Kyun in the hospital to find a suitable audition for a whole night, and was transferred to Feng Cheng Hospital early in the morning. He went to the studio and has been busy until now, and has not drunk a sip of water. But, he is here to do business, not to be a guest. "I don't." Mike just started to speak, and Bai Muchuan on the side interrupted him. "That's great," Bai Muchuan's eyes sparkled. "Although I have already had breakfast, I can have another portion, ha 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 ha. Brother Mike, we are free anyway, so let's eat while waiting for my big sister." Without waiting for Mike to answer, Bai Muchuan smiled at the housekeeper. "Uncle, then please prepare some food for us, thank you." The housekeeper glanced at Bai Muchuan coldly. This person, he couldn't hate him a little. It's hard to be angry with a brainless fool. After the housekeeper left, Bai Muchuan lowered his voice and said to Mike, "Why do I feel that this housekeeper doesn't like me very much?" Mike took a look. "I thought, at least you still have some AC in your heart." Bai Muchuan shook his head again. "No, there must be something wrong with my intuition. There is no reason for this uncle to hate me. I am such a cute boy. Mike closed his eyes. God, if you want to punish me, you can call the police, but please don't send this idiot to torture me. After Chen Ling had roughly dried her hair and came to the living room, Bai Muchuan was talking with a beaming eyebrow, while Mike on the side looked haggard. Sorry for the long wait, you two. Chen Ling walked in. It's okay, we just showed up without an appointment, Mike answered before Bai Muchuan could. He was afraid that if he was a step too late, he would never have the chance to speak again. The main reason is that our brother John wants to give Miss Cheng some audition opportunities. After saying that, he took out a stack of documents from the briefcase he carried with him and handed them over. Chen Ling took it and said, I'll call myself later to thank brother John. Bai Muchuan on the side couldn't sit still, twisted a few times in embarrassment, and explained in a low voice, actually, before I came here, I also talked to my agent Big K, but Big K said that my sister had already arranged for him to be suitable for me. All the audition information for the eldest sister was given to Sister Zhen, so, I can only come empty-handed. Well, thank you for your kindness. Also thank your sister for me. I will treat your sister to a meal another day. Mike stood up and handed over a business card with both hands. Ms. Cheng, please take the time to take a look and see if there is a script you like. If so, just contact me. This is my business card. Chen Ling took it with both hands. There are a few deadlines that are quite tight, and they are marked with red pen. Mike reminded, there are still things to do in the studio, so I won't bother you. After Mike finished speaking, he looked at Bai Muchuan to remind him that it was time to leave. But Bai Muchuan couldn't understand other people's eyes at all, thinking that Mike was praising his handsome face. He even straightened his bangs complacently and winked at Mike. Mike hurriedly said goodbye to save his life. He was very happy. If he were Bai Muchuan's manager, he would have suffered a heart attack within 3 days. After seeing Mike off, Chen Ling looked at Bai Muchuan. Why don't you leave? Are you so idle all day long? I'm very busy. I only have a free schedule in the past 2 or 3 days. I'm staying here to help the eldest sister with reference and introduction. Chen Ling smiled and looked down at the information. Zhang Qiun has a big position, and the resources provided are indeed very good. What was given to Chen Ling was absolutely an excellent script, a good director, and a great cast. This kind of film is absolutely brilliant when shot with eyes closed. Bai Muchuan sighed repeatedly. Wow, this movie is pretty good. It's directed by Shenda. I haven't even taken a role from director Shen Da. This TV series is also good. I heard that book fans are particularly looking forward to the film version of this novel. Hey, why is there a variety show called Slow Life, I Love the Sea here? Isn't this the 4th season? They are all regular cast members. Has anyone quit? Chen Ling glanced at it and spotted a name. Her pupils narrowed slightly and she took over the introduction document of this variety show. Enjoy life slowly, Season 4 of I Love the Sea. Guests, Lu's Hiding, Xin Man, Quan Yiwei, Lu Ju, XXX. Hinman. Yo, one of the 3 suspects who harmed him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 126. Xin Man is the owner of the villa. For this reason, she is a big suspect. Bai Muchuan saw Chen Ling carefully flipping through the script of the variety show Slow Life, I Love the Sea and came over. The shooting date is so close. I guess it's because a guest withdrew temporarily, so the position was vacated. Let me see, Lu's Hiding, Xin Man, oh, Brother Huang Chen didn't go. I guess he was replaced. To be able to tell which guest is missing from the list at a glance, either he has an excellent memory or this show is particularly popular. Excluding the first option. Is this variety show very popular? Chen Ling asked. The first season of Slow Enjoy Life was a big hit on the internet, but the second season was just average, and the quality of the third season dropped significantly. The guests were just slacking off on the show, and there was nothing explosive. I guess no one is watching it now. Look, these are all newcomers, Bai Muchuan pointed to the last few on the guest list. The only old people left are Luz Hiding and Xian Man. And I seem to remember my sister mentioned that Sister Xian Man recently posted on Weibo that she was not feeling well and needed to recuperate for a while. It is said that she will retire as soon as the fourth season is finished. Sister Xian Man, she called him quite affectionately. Chen Ling closed the file. By the way, Xian Man also invited you to her villa pool party in High City, right? Are you familiar with her? Not particularly familiar, Bai Muchuan said, and then he tilted his head and recalled for a while. About 5 or 6 years ago, my sister and Xian Man filmed a palace drama together. At that time, I hadn't made my debut yet, and I often ran around on the set and met many people in the crew. So what do you think of Xian Man? The image of celebrities on the internet is basically created by capital and is not very credible. On the contrary, Bai Muchuan's opinion is more authentic. Sister Xian Man, she's very hard-working. She used to be famous for her seriousness in filming. Later, I guess she became a little arrogant because she became famous. I'll tell you in secret, she has been acting like a big shot in recent years and even scolded people on the set. However, she has a good reputation in the circle. She often holds parties, undertakes exhibitions with her studio, and participates in charity fundraising. My sister and I often receive various invitations from her, but we don't go very often. The last time I went to her party was because I happened to be in High City for a performance, so I went to join in the fun. Joined in the fun for a while? Oh, you've been to the villa party she filmed in Haishi. Bai Muchuan became alert. Big sister, are you going to bring up the past with me? He explained, I really didn't know you were there, and I didn't know you were drowning. I had a lot of work on the scene that day, and later I went back to Fengcheng, and then I heard from my agent that you seemed to run to find me, and fell into the water. They all said you pretended to fall into the water, creating topics and using public opinion to oppress me. Big sister, don't be angry, I was actually very annoyed at the time. Chen Ling nodded, I don't plan to bring up the past with you, don't worry, I just have something I want to know. Cheng's father and others asked about the party from temporary workers and live bands, and they couldn't get any core information, but Bai Muchuan was different. He was formally invited. Maybe he knew some inside stories that outsiders couldn't find out. Bai Muchuan relaxed after hearing what Chen Ling said. Chen Ling continued to ask, recall carefully, who did Xian Man interact with the most on the day of the party? I didn't stay for long. Just say that during your stay in the villa, who did you see Xian Man getting close to? Or was there any special person? As long as it was a guest she invited, she would go to say a few polite words. Bai Muchuan held his chin and recalled seriously. Oh, there was one person. She looked very impressive, like a big shot, but she shouldn't be someone in our circle, anyway, I don't know her. However, I saw that Sister Xian Man was very nice to her, and Sister Xian Man was even quite reserved. Oh, Chen Ling raised her eyebrows, can you tell me the specific situation at that time? I saw her at the back door of the villa. Sister Xian Man's party was very impressive, with many fancy activities, including barbecue on the beach, listening to bands singing and dancing, and drinking afternoon tea and so on. Because I have to go out on the scene, so I didn't go swimming or barbecue with them, and I was afraid that the sun would tan me, so I went to the villa to find some drinks. Then I saw Sisters Inman bring someone in from the back garden, and they should have come in from the back door of the villa. That was a woman who looked very energetic. I couldn't tell her age, probably around 25 or 26 years old. Can you describe that woman in more detail? I just glanced at them and went upstairs. That woman was wearing a jumpsuit, and she had a good figure. Bai Muchuan bit his lip and frowned to recall. After a while, he clapped his hands. By the way, there is one thing about that woman that I remember very clearly, that is, she walked with the wind. Walking with the wind, Chen Ling repeated. Bai Muchuan simply stood up. Don't actresses usually walk like this? He walked from one end of the room to the other, twisting his slender waist slightly, with a bit of the charm of a female star's walk. But that woman walks like this. Bai Muchuan cleared his throat, straightened his chest, pulled in his stomach, and raised his head, striding forward with his legs straight, his shoulders not shaking much. Chen Ling's face changed slightly. This is the way a soldier walks. The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 127. Female celebrities have received special training in body posture management. When they walk, their steps should be slow but not slow. They should not twist their hips or sway their upper and lower bodies too much. They should strive to get rid of the awkward feeling. Children of aristocratic backgrounds walk with style, calmness, and grace, often giving people a feeling of relaxation and relaxation. Ordinary people walk lazily, vainly, and casually. When soldiers walk, they look like a moving flagpole. The flagpole has a rustling flag, giving people a refreshing feeling of walking in the wind. Don't underestimate details. Details often reveal a lot of information. When the Soviet-German War broke out, a German spy pretended to be a Soviet working group, sneaked into the Soviet military base, and asked non-commissioned officers to report military intelligence. The spy preparation work was very good, and all the documents were verified correctly. The sergeant began to report. The German spy sat on a stool, tapping the armrest of the chair unconsciously with his fingers while listening to the work report. A Soviet staff officer noticed that what the so-called working group leader was tapping with his fingers was the rhythm of the German military song "The Victory of Germany." The staff officer immediately reported his discovery to the non-commissioned officer, thus identifying the spy. As an excellent agent, Chen Ling often hides his true identity to perform tasks. How to hide? It's all in the details. When performing her mission, she was extremely careful and acted with every gesture, but there was no trace of performance. Back then, she had been lurking around the cautious and cunning drug lord for so long without revealing any flaws. If his adoptive father hadn't betrayed him, the drug lord might not have suspected Chen Ling until his death. I want to participate in this variety show. Chen Ling stood up. I have to discuss it with Sister Zhen. Muchuan, go back and help me thank your sister for the resources. It wasn't until Bai Muchuan got into the car carrying several boxes of high-end fruits that he realized that he had forgotten to give the fruits to Mike. It's better to just leave it to the eldest sister. Asterisk. Wang Zhen heard about Chen Ling's decision on the phone and raised questions. After all, Chen Ling has finally turned around his image and has obtained so many good resources. He should strike while the iron is hot and make some TV series with better reputations to consolidate his fans. However, Chen Ling's attitude was very firm. The filming period for this variety show is very short, and it will not delay my subsequent filming plans. Wang Zhen said, "You don't know, that Lu's hiding is not a good person. She is very responsible for the deterioration of this program, and Xin Man also likes to act like a big name and crowd out other guests. You shouldn't be participating to investigate Xin Man." Chen Ling said without explaining too much, "It's not an investigation, it's just a contact." "Then I won't say anything." I just want to remind you, be careful. How many stars have ruined their stardom because of an inappropriate word or a wrong move? I will be careful, Sister Zhen. Don't worry. Chen Ling held the mobile phone in one hand and kept holding the dumbbell in the other hand, breathing very steadily. Then please help me, Sister Zhen, to contact the program team and arrange the follow-up journey. In the afternoon, Chen Ling had dinner, got into the Scarface driver's car, and went straight to the Chen group. Scarface's driving skills were very good. He stepped on the accelerator and brake very slowly, but his speed was not slow at all. Chen Ling was sitting in the back seat, his body almost not leaning forward or backward at all, as stable as if the car was not moving. It's hard. The driver must always pay full attention to the road conditions and make a judgment in advance whether to increase speed slowly or step on the accelerator slowly based on real-time traffic flow and traffic light conditions. Miss, we are almost there. Chen Ling saw the four characters Cheng's group shining brightly on a tall building in the distance. Your driving skills are good, I like it very much, Chen Ling said. Thank you, miss, I will keep it up. Scarface was neither humble nor overbearing. Aren't you considering doing something else? I want to drive for the eldest lady all my life, Scarface said seriously. Chen Ling shrugged, park the car in the underground garage and come upstairs with me. Okay, miss. This driver is smart, drives steadily, and has firm eyes. He is a rare talent. What's your name? You can't just keep saying Scarface and Scarface all the time. The driver smiled, and the muscles on his face moved the scar. It was not ferocious at all, but had a violent beauty. My name is Shi Tailong. Just call me Aaron. Before Chen Ling left, he sent a message to his brother. Chen Ling, brother, I'm going to the company from home now. Chen Bei's hung, just tell the front desk that you have an appointment after registering, take the president's office elevator to the 28th floor. Dad and I are in a meeting, you can play by yourself first. Chen Ling took Aaron into the building lobby through the group gate. The first floor of the lobby is the reception area. 5 receptionists in crisp uniforms were sitting behind the reception desk, registering information in front of the computer. Front desk A, the person who just registered is General Manager Lu of our subsidiary. Why is he looking so sad? Receptionist B, which subsidiary is it? Front desk C, it's Chengde Hang Food Company. After finishing speaking, receptionist C cleared his throat, imitating Chen Ling's tone in the Desperate Survival program, holding a virtual cruet in his hand. Chengde Hang seasoning will bring out the delicious food in the world. Chengde Hang seasoning will satisfy your stomach. Receptionist D, hey. Are you also a fan of my spirit? Front desk C blinked, robbery. The code matches. Receptionist D raised his hands, extended 2 fingers, and shot light at Receptionist C. Receptionist C also reflected the light back, and was having a great time. He saw a person standing in front of him out of the corner of his eye. He turned his head. Chen Ling was smiling at him. Chen Ling Ben Ling. Receptionist C, dog fainted. JPG. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 128. In the morning, the Desperate Survival program team posted an announcement on Weibo. Hello to all those who support and love #survival hashtag. During the live broadcast of this program, the live broadcast was interrupted due to force majeure factors. We apologize for the bad experience it brought to everyone. In addition, after the live broadcast was interrupted, the camera crew filmed the guests' unexpected and real desperate survival journey. The shooting data is being sorted out, and the video data will be posted on the corresponding platform later, so stay tuned. There are thousands of comments below in less than a minute. Oh my god. There is actually a follow-up video shoot. Looking forward to it. I only care about Are there many scenes of my spirit queen in the video? So, who is the final champion? Program team, I heard that Jong Ki-eun was injured, real or fake? There is an accident where the live broadcast is interrupted. You guys, the program team, are too stupid. Why didn't any of the guests speak out on Weibo? Did something really happen? There is no news about your program team, so I come up every few hours to check it out, fearing that there will be some explosive news. Let me just ask, when will resource star Chen Ling get out of the entertainment industry? Does Chen Ling have a script? Too disgusting. Flower of Evil Chen Ling formed a group to bully Lujan. Your entertainment industry is too dark. Bullying Lujan, I didn't beat up Lujan on the spot because of the show crew's sake. Can you idiots have some brains? Do you really think that the internet is a lawless place where you can slander and insult others at will? After watching Desperate Survival, I can no longer watch other variety shows. When will the second season be filmed? After Receptionist C saw the announcement, he took advantage of his lunch break to engage in passionate exchanges with Heezy on the internet for the entire afternoon. I didn't even bother to take a few bites of the meal. This is the first time she has such a fan of an idol. Never expected that my idol would appear in front of me that afternoon. Could it be that her sincerity moved God? Front Desk D noticed that Front Desk C suddenly stopped interacting with him and followed her line of sight. Instantly petrified. Chen Ling? Is it really Chen Ling? Chen Ling suppressed laughter. These two girls are so cute. Receptionist B usually doesn't check Weibo, doesn't follow celebrities, and doesn't watch variety shows. She didn't know Chen Ling, and she was a little confused. These two colleagues who were skilled in business did not ask the guests' intentions, but instead turned into mute red tomatoes *2. She stood up with a smile on her face. Hello, how can I help you? Chen Ling's eyes were slightly curved, with an unrepressed smile. I'm here to see President Chen Baizheng. I have an appointment. Please wait a moment while I confirm. Front Desk B then dialed the internal number to the president's office and confirmed the appointment. Ma'am, please come this way. Front Desk B stood up from his desk and led Chen Ling and Aaron to the exclusive elevator of the president's office in the distance. As soon as Chen Ling left, Front Desk C and Front Desk D revived. The two of them bent over the table and chatted in low voices. Ah, I really want an autograph. No. The company has regulations and you are not allowed to harass guests. Just now, in front of my spirit, I imitated her in saying the GG words, I'm dead. Did you miss it like this? I don't want to give in. Suddenly, a clear voice came from above. It was Chen Ling who should have walked away. Excuse me, do you two want my autograph? A minute later, Chen Ling took Aaron up in the elevator. The two small receptionists held Chen Ling's signature with beautiful blessings written on it, covering their mouths with excitement and screaming softly. My eldest sister's head is more beautiful and gentle than I imagined. I didn't just sign it perfunctorily, but I wrote a blessing carefully. I declare that this is my family heirloom. When Receptionist B came back from seeing Chen Ling off, he didn't quite understand when he saw the two of them being so excited. Don't we often see big names in our company? I've never heard of this female star. Why are you two so excited? Please, watch Desperate Survival. I'll send you the portal on WeChat. Trust me, after watching it, you will definitely fall in love with Chen Ling. C at the front desk held the signature and suddenly said, why did my spirit come to our group? Could it be? Chen Ling's surname is also Chen. Is what is posted on the internet true? Is she really a relative of our boss? Take a bold guess, could my spirit be the boss's daughter? Asterisk. Aaron reminded in the elevator, Miss, you must wear a mask and glasses to protect yourself when going out in the future. Fans are very crazy now. Chen Ling nodded. but she felt wonderful. It turns out that it is really strange and touching to be worshipped as an idol. There is also an extra kind of thing out of thin air, and it must not live up to the pressure of fans' love. The elevator quickly reached the president's office on the 28th floor. Cheng's father's secretary, Secretary Lin, was standing by the elevator with his hands down, waiting for Cheng Ling. Secretary Lin naturally knew Cheng Ling's identity. But he kept his boss's instructions in mind and kept silent. "Hello, Miss Cheng. Mr. Cheng asked me to wait for you here. If you need anything, please tell me. I will take you to the office dash." Cheng Ling nodded and was about to leave when he accidentally noticed that the light in the reception room was on and the door was open. A man was sitting at the table looking through documents. Cheng Ling had memorized the details of the key figures of his group, so he recognized him at a glance. He was Lu Jungsu, the general manager of Cheng Dehang Food Company, a subsidiary of the group. Cheng Ling came to the group mainly for the affairs of Cheng Dehang Food Company, but he didn't expect to run into the general manager of the food company. It was like a sleepy man meeting a pillow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 129. Cheng's father has a great sense of knowing people and being kind to them. Lu Jungsu was originally a farmer entrepreneur. His small factory closed down due to poor management. Cheng's father had a keen eye and recruited him into his company to be responsible for managing the food company. Over the years, Lu Jungsu has worked hard and steadily. Although the food company has made slow progress, it has been developing without making any big mistakes. However, a few days ago, in a variety show sponsored by the group, a female star gave Cheng Dehang seasoning a GG, which set off a sales frenzy. Orders are pouring in like snowflakes. As the general manager of a food company, Lu Jungsu dreams that the company's business will be prosperous and prosperous under his hands. But the problem now is, there are too many orders and they can't supply them. What seems like a sweet trouble actually hides a big problem. If they increase their productivity and work overtime to produce goods, they won't get anywhere fast no matter how fast they are. However, often due to the long waiting time for supply, a large number of customers cannot wait to cancel their orders, and the produced food accumulates and cannot be sold. Food has a shelf life. Food companies may lose money instead of making money. Therefore, he came to the group to find Mr. Cheng and Mr. Xiao Cheng to discuss countermeasures. Lu Jungsu frowned and was looking through the documents compiled overnight. There was a knock on the door. He thought Mr. Cheng and Mr. Cheng Xiao had returned from the meeting, so he quickly stood up from his seat. The person standing at the door is not Mr. Cheng or Mr. Cheng, but a very beautiful and familiar girl. Isn't this the female star who gave Cheng Dehang a GG in the variety show? Why is she here? Hello, Manager Lu. My name is Cheng Ling. Cheng Ling walked over and stretched out his hand to shake Lu Jungsu's hand. Lu Jungsu quickly shook his hand, muttering in his heart, but he kept saying polite words, "Hello, Miss Cheng. Seeing is better than hearing 100 times. Miss Cheng is much prettier than on TV. Although he has never watched her show, he can never flatter her." Cheng Ling smiled slightly. She glanced at his thick dark bags and bloodshot eyes, secretly guessing Lu Jungsu's purpose. He shouldn't be here because of those 23 food safety incidents. Those small safety incidents will not be fed back to Lu Jungsu's level. Cheng Ling observed, although he looked sad, his body was very relaxed, and there was an unconcealable joy under his haggard and tired face. This look. It's very similar to my child scored 700 points in the college entrance examination, and I am worried about whether it is better to apply for Tsinghua University or Peking University. Glancing at the documents spread out on the table, She saw the words capacity, sales, and labor. Chen Ling guessed his purpose. After Lu Jungsu finished speaking politely, he thought Chen Ling would leave. Unexpectedly, Chen Ling did not leave, but walked into the living room and sat down. Behind him was a man with a scarred face who was not easy to mess with at first glance. Lu Jungsu subconsciously raised his head and glanced at the surveillance room in the living room. If these two people had some bad idea to blackmail him, he had to find a way to protect himself. Chen Ling looked at Manager Lu, who was immediately alert. A man must learn to protect himself outside. Ah, Miss Chang, I have something important to discuss with Mr. Chang. I'm afraid it's not convenient for me to chat with you. Chen Ling said straightforwardly, Manager Lu, you came to Mr. Cheng to discuss a solution because the volume of food-related orders has surged or even exploded. Delivery is difficult and the goods may not be delivered on time. Lu Jungsu was stunned. Chen Ling continued to ask. Did you just randomly quote a number when marking the product inventory in the online mall? Or does the salesperson not understand the company's production capacity when making recommendations? Does the company have no plan for production capacity management? Manager Lu, as the general manager, do you not know the importance of production capacity management? When you need to calculate production capacity, you just find a production manager and ask for the approximate number. Did you find that you were unable to meet customer needs and did not have an effective communication mechanism to communicate product shortages to customers in a timely manner? Lu Jungsu was in a trance. He locked the key personnel of each department in the company in the conference room and discussed it all night, and finally found out the reason for their current predicament. The beautiful female star in front of me just said a few random words, but she actually summarized it more accurately and to the point than they did. Manager Lu was shocked for a long time before he asked, "Who are you?" Secretary Lin, who was arranged by Chen Ling to make tea, walked in with a tea set. After hearing this, Secretary Lin introduced, she is the daughter of our group CEO Cheng and the younger sister of Mr. Cheng. However, please keep it secret for now, Manager Lu, not many people know about it. Lu Jungsu suddenly stood up. He apologized hastily, I'm sorry, I don't know your identity. There's nothing to apologize for, Chen Ling smiled and motioned to Secretary Lin to make tea for Lu Jungsu. Mr. Lu stayed up late, right? Have some tea and we'll talk slowly. Hey, Manager Lu sat down quickly. Chen Ling looked at the documents on the table and asked, can you show me the documents? Convenient, naturally convenient. Chen Ling took the document and opened it to read. She has seen Lu Jungsu's resume and he is a practical entrepreneur. His advantage is that he is down to earth and not afraid of hardship. His disadvantage is that he cannot keep up with the pace of the information age. This document clearly shows that Lu Jungsu, as the general manager of the food company, has no understanding of the specific upper limit of his production capacity and no refined management. When the company encountered a surge in orders in the past, Manager Lu arranged for company employees and factory workers to work overtime to supply. There is no medium and long-term production capacity planning. Moreover, the business scope of the food company has not expanded over the years, and many markets have not been developed. Chen Ling looked through it and looked up and asked, Manager Lu, do you have any response strategies for the continued increase in sales this time? Manager Lu hurriedly put down his teacup and answered seriously like a primary school student, we decided to acquire idle factories of several other food companies, purchase equipment, recruit a large number of employees, and expand the scale of production. Chen Ling shook his head slightly and said regretfully, wrong answer. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 130. Ah! Mistake. Manager Lu was stunned for a moment, then asked in a humble manner, excuse me, is there anything wrong with this strategy? Chen Ling explained patiently, this surge in sales is a temporary state. Today's netizens like to follow the trend, and it is difficult to guarantee that they will continue to love something. If netizens' enthusiasm fades, will there still be so many orders? If there are no orders, then investment in equipment, expanded factories, additional employees, and the resulting warehouse storage, transportation chains, sales promotion, and after-sales services will all require a large amount of capital injection. Once the order volume shrinks and costs have increased and there is no way to reduce them, can the company still make a profit? Every time Cheng Ling said a word, Manager Lu sweated more on his forehead. He has indeed not considered any of this. Equipment will depreciate and personnel will be idle, but wages will continue as usual. The ingredients we purchase for processing require warehouse storage, and storage costs are not low. In addition, these raw materials may deteriorate due to weather or storage conditions, or expired. Produced and processed food also needs to be stored and has a shelf life. As long as the orders don't come in, this part of the cost will never be replenished. If a vicious cycle forms, then the company will face the crisis of bankruptcy. Manager Liu's back was soaked with cold sweat. He was so overwhelmed by the large number of orders that fell from the sky that he completely failed to see the problems behind them. This time he came to the group just to apply for funds and expand the production scale so that he could complete the order tasks on time and in quantity. Who would have thought that all he saw was the surface? It is said that Mr. Cheng and his son Mr. Cheng are business wizards. Unexpectedly, even Mr. Cheng's daughter, who is involved in the entertainment industry, is also a good one among people. Miss Cheng, please give me some advice for the company. Manager Lu almost knelt down. Please tell me, how should I deal with this crisis? Cheng Ling looked relaxed and waved his hand. Orders have surged and we can't supply the goods. It's just a small problem. Manager Lu was sweating on his forehead and slowly asked a question. We are all facing bankruptcy. Is this still a small problem? So what is a big problem? Big problem. Chengdeheng Gourmet Food Company has collapsed. Huge liquidated damages will be paid. Investors will withdraw their capital. The capital chain will be broken. The Food Safety Bureau will suspend all the company's business and conduct raids. The Commerce Administration will suspend our business and even implicate the Cheng Group of life and death. Cheng Ling said calmly. Manager Lu, do you think this is a big problem? Manager Liu's lips turned white. Big problem is no longer enough to describe the seriousness of the matter. Cheng Ling suddenly smiled and said. If you don't know anything about the upcoming crisis and do nothing, you can only sit back and wait for death. But now we have high-level warnings ahead. We just need to find ways to deal with them. We can turn risks into what an opportunity. Manager Lu swallowed. Miss Cheng, what do you need me to do? Cheng Ling held out two fingers. There's not much you can do, there are only two things. Asterisk. Located in Zikan Commercial Street in Maple City, the China office building of Singapore Xinglei Catering Group Co. Limited is located on the Royal Road in the middle of the street. At this moment, the top floor of this modern office building, the office of the Xinglei Group's president in China, with its 270-degree viewing glass, welcomed a noble guest. Chen Kuntai, the Dewa regional president of Xinglei Group, smiled so hard that he couldn't see his eyes. He diligently handed a woman's slender cigarette to the person sitting on the boss's chair, took out a lighter, and carefully lit the cigarette for her. It was Mu Yindi. Mu Yindi was wearing a pair of neat jeans, which were tucked into the limited edition black lambskin boots of the season. She held the cigarette between her index and middle fingers, took a puff, and slowly exhaled the smoke. Chen Kuntai bowed slightly and stood opposite her. He did not take the initiative to speak, but just kept smiling apologetically. I told you. Mu Yingdi crossed her legs. Are you all set up? That's natural, Chen Kuntai replied.